What is up, For Honor family? I told you I would be back doing this again this year, and here it is, the For Honor Hero Rankings for 2025, including Virtuosa. And I will tell you, wipe your memory of last year's rankings. The rating criteria is much more refined this year. I can distinctly see how a hero ended up compared to others in each rated area within their respective faction and overall. And it made a better and more accountable process. These hero rankings are based on the hero without the add-ons. Add-ons like perks and feats vary for each player and are imbalanced, so I didn't want to include those as part of the ratings. A hero's initial ratings land between 0 and 6. I rated every hero by faction, and the criteria included 3 main categories and 1 tiebreaker category. The first main category is moveset, which includes versatility and quality. This is the only area with a multiplier because I feel it's the most important. Due to the multiplier, this will be the only area where a hero can rate above 6. Team fighting is the second category, but think of team fighting in more of a brawl sense because remember, we are not using feats and perks to influence these ratings. If you can consider Dom without those things, go ahead, but make sure you stay focused. That's why I said think brawls. And the last main criteria area is uniqueness. I also have fashion as a tiebreaker for my faction ratings, not the overall ratings, but the faction ratings. But I didn't even have to get into that, so we're not going to even waste time talking about it. I will explain my criteria in more detail at the end for those super critics that are out there, and I know you're out there. But just know, when it comes to these rankings, there will be varying opinions. I value and respect all of your opinions. I know you're knowledgeable gamers, knowledgeable players of this game, at least most of you are. I just ask to keep the comments respectful. This has been a respectful community. We've been growing here. I appreciate y'all for that, and I expect that to continue here. I'm very interested to hear who you would have higher or lower and why. Just make sure your why is based on the criteria. Okay, you've been prepped. We're going to start from the bottom at number 37 and work our way up. As with any ratings, a lot of these margins are paper thin, and as with any rankings, they can be debatable. Get ready for the post-Virtuosa 2025 Ardor Hero Rankings. Number 37, Warden. Warden comes in last in my ratings, but not because they're a bad hero, it's just that someone has to be last, just like someone will be first. A bash and courage moveset, a limited superior block ability that they can only get from a top attack are factors why they are placed here. To put it plainly, they are just lacking even when you compare them to other knights. I still like Warden. I like to use Warden, and it doesn't matter how good you think Havoc is with him. Much love to Havoc, by the way. This is where Warden is in my rankings, based on the criteria, not emotion. Number 36, Raider. Raider is an OG Vanguard that you pick up, come in and wreck shop or wreak havoc as an external offensive threat with his feigntable unblockable zone from neutral, which is solid. It also helps that this move can be soft feinted into a top light. In-chain uninterruptible fits the presentation of this hero, while he has the bash grab while not locked on. There is no locked on bash option, leaving players to often rely on their zones to open players up, or their heavy to top light soft feint. Options are always good, but for Raider, it's not good enough to move him beyond this point. Number 35, Hitokiri. Hito doesn't have the most imaginative moveset, and there's nothing unique about uninterruptible stance and throwing unblockables, but the ability to feint their charge ray sweep was a nice touch, especially when someone could instantly react to a presumed ray kick. A solid hero to pick up and play even with little experience or time in the game, but when looking at the measurables compared to other heroes, the Hitokiri ended up here. Number 34, Kensei. One of my favorites, but they can't outskill their way from this position. If it's a race ranking, Kensei would be at the bottom. They're not far from it here. However, they can be fun to watch or play, mainly because you feel in control, complete control of your weapon. The trouble is all of the soft feints to light that are blocked halts your attack even in chain. The bash can only be used on a top heavy and has to be the first attack. Kenseis have their limits, but there's still plenty to enjoy. Number 33, Centurion. Scents are bullies without the ability to drain your stamina as they once did. Although they did just give Scent his Lion's Roar back, so he does drain stamina with that. I know Scent mains will be happy about that, but he's just not how he once was. And just adding that back doesn't make them any more threatening, but full of personality and a punch, Scent can pressure you with the relentless array of bash attacks. The issue is, those bash attacks don't feel as strong as they should. Variable heavies are still nice, but the fact he can be interrupted out of the unblockable is no bueno. Some solid tools to work with, but Sense could use a tweak or two to make them incredibilis again. Number 32, Berserker. Berserk is a downhill type of hero where if you get your opponent playing whack-a-block as they try to guess when you're actually going to let go of an attack, then you're going to be in a good place because they're not attacking you. His hyper armor makes him a trading monster, but more so in years past. Now there are so many trading monsters. Deflect the GB is always a good option to catch people who dodge attack, but also feels counter to what Zerk is built on, and that's attacking. Even so, Zerk provide a solid balance of attack and defense that you do enjoy using them. It would be nice if Zerk's zone could be cancelled like Sense, Shamans, Kinsei, Highlander, or Shaolin, so literally every other hero with a 3-hit zone, but we are where we are, and Zerk is here in my rankings. Number 31, Zanhu. Zanhus are still fun to play, even though with each dodge attack, I feel like I'm playing Russian roulette, waiting for someone to parry the heck out of it. The recoveries and superior block attacks are nice, but that's not enough to move them any higher on this list. Having an unblockable finisher is cool, but when your opponent knows both of your finishers are unblockable, with the light being easy to distinguish in a 1v1 situation, that doesn't work in Zanhu's favor. Even with the limited offensive options, the pace you can play with the hero can keep you coming back. Number 30, Varangian Guard. VG is very beneficial to have around as a teammate in true brawls, and constantly has heroes thinking twice about attacking. They remove her enhanced lights that has her take a hit and drops her on this list. I hope they give her those enhanced lights back, because I can see her moving up maybe a ranking or two. Number 29, Griffin. Griffin used his travels to gain some knowledge from other heroes, and his copycat moveset absolutely shows it. Even with Griffin copying moves from other heroes, it's still enough to get the job done with regularity. Solid in every area, he's a safe hero to pick up and play and have some success. The lack of the imagination with his kit drops him down in the rankings, and it places him. His uniqueness just isn't there. Number 28, Peacekeeper. PK was actually last in my first hero rankings, and right after that, she received an update that gave her an unblockable finisher if the opponent is bleeding. This year, she's up to 28. Being in the lower third of the rankings doesn't make PK any less of a terror in 4s, but this ranking isn't 4s specific nor competitive. 1v1s, she's still solid, but if you're not bleeding, she's tame. So she's not always dangerous, and she ends up here. Number 27, Conqueror. Conk can hold their own as they dare heroes to attack and then clear out space with their unblockable zone. That keeps all other full guard heroes at bay. A good teammate that can go from a shelled to a full-blown unblockable party off of one bash. Their frames change was a huge one, but with no roll catcher, still, they're missing some ingredients to move them a little higher up this time around. The good news is, the next update, you should have a roll catcher, and we'll see where that takes them. And maybe they'll add some other little things to them, like damage increases or whatever, to just give Conk a little boost. Number 26, Lawbringer. The Law always wins, even at this position in the rankings. They gave him a roll catcher since the last rankings. It's funky, but it's his. Him being able to continue to bash makes him a little more challenging to deal with for some heroes, but some of his more fun tools, like the long arm, hasn't really felt the same since his rework. He's still a strong heavy Vanguard combo hybrid that hits hard and has fun doing it. At least I hope you're having fun. Number 25, Zhang Jun. You're not going to be upset if you see a JJ as your teammate, but you will need to keep your distance. When JJ winds up, there's some big damage coming, and as a teammate, you could take some collateral damage. JJ knows his strengths, and if players stick to them, they will find success. His moveset is unimaginable. His Sifu stance is nice though, although it leaves him predictable when thrown out of it. And for this ranking, this is his spot. Number 24, Tiandi. Tiandi's flow is unlike any other hero in the game, although I see warmongers trying to emulate Tiandi's flow externally. However, what Tiandi can do off of his dodge is just different. Being able to feint Tiandi's kick, bash, undodgeable light attacks, a quick zone that can be cancelled, and an armored forward dodge heavy gives Tiandi's many ways to read their opponents and capitalize. Number 23, Pirate. Pirate is a hero that is not nearly as a sore topic as she once was. She's a walking 50-50. It feels like with her dodge forward, unblockable, and walk the plank, she's not apologizing for it. If you're looking for uniqueness, look no further than assessing how many heroes fire pistols on the battlefield. You're looking at the answer. She also is a good peel teammate and a solid teammate in general. Number 22, Warlord. Warlord is always a sturdy choice. You should never feel outmatched as Warlord, and that's because of his defensive build. He has superior block capability, a full guard that he can sit in for however long he wants, and an undodgeable zone. He has a stun ability on parry, so he has tools to work with. He was also the winner of the AI tourney that I held last year, when I matched up all the heroes based on my rankings. However, like most heroes, he has weaknesses and can be taken advantage of. He's the only heavy hero without an unblockable. So that's a fun fact for you. That doesn't mean everything because I have him rated above other heavy heroes that have unblockables. But imagine if he did. But this is where he is in these rankings. Number 21, Ocelot. Ocelot attacks like a beast, and if you guess wrong or miss a parry attempt between the bashes and his super fast light attempts, he can be a nightmare for the opposition. He has a lot going for him in his moveset. His stalk and dodge attack move is lacking and limited. Hope they do something with that. His moveset also allows him to get stuck in some spots. An unfortunate thing is he doesn't have any bleed properties as he rips through you. If Sohei and Warmonger can have bleed, Ocelot can generate a little bleed on that move alone. He attacks with vengeance, and this is where Ocelot goes in these rankings. Number 20, Adamusha. Adamusha received changes to his zone, making the second hit of his zone hazardous to deal with since he can now soft feint out of it. The added unblockables on finisher heavies also provide a danger zone for heroes. These changes make him more dangerous externally, not having to rely on the zone for external pressure, and he's better in duels with the changes. It was all around a great bump for Ara. Number 19, Nusha. Nusha's zone change has been a great addition to her moveset. She still feels like Nusha, and if anything, it feels like she can play faster, especially with the consistent threat of using her trap to get things going and open up her opponent. Her zone update and trap are the primary reasons she just ekes ahead of our Musha here. Number 18, Gladiator. Is Glad perfect? Absolutely not. Should he get some confirmed damage on his bash? Yes. And they actually gave him 1 damage on his zone bash after the Year 9 Season 2 Title Update 2 update. But that's not enough. Glad was close to being lower on this list, but his toe stab is so good to have on your side as a teammate. You can also quickly get to his unblockable to force a reaction. The dodge bash may ledge or reposition your opponent, but other than frustrating you with a brief stun, it doesn't perform much else. I'm still okay with him being in the middle to lower half of the second tier, but this is where he is. I think it's a good spot at number 18. Number 17, Shigoki. Goki can rush the zone like his samurai brother Shinobi, but also pack a punch with that charge unblockable heavy. I would like him to be able to get an execution off of his heavy versus a knockdown, but that's just personal pettiness. For as big as he is, he's not a rigid heavy hero. A useful zone that goes right into an uninterruptible chain heavy as well. He has tools that really help his teammates and adds pressure to the opponent externally. I mean, especially with that hug, light, hug, chain. Whoa. And everybody loves the Goki hug. Number 16, Shaman. Shaman keeps the tool sharp for more than taking out her enemies. Shaman soft feints to get to her bleed, and her pounce always make her a threat. Still think it's an odd choice to have her unblockable only occur on one side. She can put pressure on you quickly, and her zone can quickly get annoying for heroes to deal with. Players that dedicate themselves to Shaman are lethal. She's still not rising any higher in these ratings based on what she's working with now. Number 15, Nobushi. Nobushi is held back by one thing, and that's the ability to open up her opponent. She can't feint to bleed like Shaman or PK, and she has no bash for neutral. The devs are working on her, so she could be higher next year. For now, the queen sits on her throne in this position. Number 14, Jormungandr. Jorm is known for their hammers and cracking heroes with them. No uninterruptible on the hammer slam feels bad. It's not all bad for Jorm, and that's why they're here. The disabling ability of Jorm makes walls an additional teammate, and any down hero can expect a hammer coming down on them if a Jorm is nearby. In-chain zones help to keep the attack going along with sustaining their offense. Jorm's abilities keep them in a good spot here. Number 13, Medjai. Medjai's fight-fitting style allows players to adapt to many situations. Need to hit external targets? He got you. Need to focus up on a duel? He can do that too. We know no one stance is overly strong, and the added zone to help him switch stances and continue attacking, along with the undodgeable light attack and axe stance, was an added bonus to him. It helped him come in here. Number 12, Warmonger. Warmonger will always feel and remind me of Warden. I don't think that's ever going to change, except she was focused on protein and the gym. And it's worked for her so far. Her claws bleed thanks to dodge bash, as you would want. Her added frames to her unblockable dodge heavy was a good gift to her over the past year. Her chase down dodge heavy attack dares you to run. She's a problem to deal with in duels, and it's good to see her on your team. She fits well in the top mid tier of these rankings. Number 11, Valkyrie. It only got more difficult as I went along, and Valk being at this position was not an easy choice either, mainly because I feel like she's one, maybe two moves away from being able to compete for a top spot. Her shoulder pin could use some work, so she can perform the follow-up attack, but she's like an assassin and vanguard hybrid that feels good to use. She can handle her own in duels as well, and can take care of business and team fights thanks to her versatile moveset. Superior block, full guard, you don't want for much more with her. Number 10, Highlander. One of the most expansive movesets you'll see in the game, especially from one of the earlier versions of the heroes. An offensive and defensive stance that, when mastered, is poetry in motion to watch. I envy Highlander masters because it takes knowledge of the heroes you face to exploit and try to manipulate your opponents how you want them. You can't just throw out unblockables or anything like that. It takes a skill. Highlander mains are skilled. Uniqueness and a challenging quality and full moveset help catapult Highlander to the upper echelon of these rankings. Number 9, Kyoshin. Kyoshin isn't overly nimble, but he's slightly above average, and those cuts leave you open for a teammate to get their licks in as well to finish you off. On top of that, he can sit safely outside of a 2v1 in a saucy full guard stance, flowering, and then explode out of it with a top unblockable that he can swiftly turn back into a countering opportunity. Superior block at the ready makes him a defensive puzzle with offensive options, and I like his offensive options, that let you know he's more than a counterattack. Number 8, Sohei. He's amongst the heroes that had work done to them over the past year. Sohei received one of the best facelifts. As the devs went on their march to remove enhanced lights from heroes like Warmonger and BG, Sohei kept his, making capturing souls a less arduous task. It's the keeping them that is the chore. Uninterruptible heavy zone starter and in-chain zone can be tantalizing for players to want to parry, but they know the risk. His changes propped him up on my rankings as he's not only extremely unique with the collection of souls, but his moveset also leaves him difficult to GB and will power through your attacks to finish you and not blink. Number 7, Shaolin. Shaolin loves a fast pace, not as much as the hero above him in these rankings, although he doesn't have issues keeping up. Undodgeable heavy from key stance, a stylish deflect, and full of personality, Shaolin can give you the business in a few ways, and if you're not careful externally and you try to slip an attack while he's in key stance, an on-point Shaolin will use that superior block to remind you why that's not a good idea. Number 6, Orochi. Whether Orochis are running towards you or dodging away from you, they move like a boomerang with varying attacks and attack speeds heading in both directions. Just when you're looking Riptide or Storm Rush, you can get a kick to the chest just to put you back in the same predicament. Orochis are like Tasmanian devils, and when they get in a groove, look out. A moveset fitting of an elite assassin, Orochi makes use of it to end up here in these rankings. Number 5, Black Prior. BP has been here for years, so being near or at the top shouldn't be surprising. There's not much more satisfying move than the bulwark stance when timed effectively. The ability to pancake not only your opponent, but your opponent's teammate in a 1v2 gives the enemy pause. BPs can go from sterile to filthy in a heartbeat with BPs unblockable from full guard. If you're dodge happy, an astute BP will be happy to hit you with that undodgeable too. BP is where he should be. Number 4, Shinobi. The entire top 5 are class heroes that have really been near the top for a while. Shinobi comes in at 4, as Shinobi's always a good teammate to have, can dart in and out, combat quickly, and control the pace of the fight. And the moveset is just nice. It invites a controlled but fast-paced playstyle. He's where he belongs in the top tier of these rankings. Number 3, Hatun. Hatun is the second hero to arrive since my last rankings, and she cemented her place up the rankings board immediately. Beware attempting a sneaky external attack or you'll be the next target and she'll be sinking her Turco-Mongol sabers into you in no time. Being able to soft feint to any side heavy or light is a first and was incredibly unique until they dropped Virtuosa. A completely unique feature to her is her Fear and Fury move that allows her to temporary dash forward in a full guard position, which if you strike her while in it is an automatic deflect opportunity. She can also go into an unblockable or a quick light attack in any direction. She's a high-level hunter on the battlefield and is a threat at all times because of how quick she can close the distance and put opponents on high alert. Her kick tracking is a little ridiculous and should be toned down in my opinion, but that's a slight gripe. There is a learning curve with her and it takes some time to master the different situations you'll face in the game, but it pays off if you stick with her. She's worthy of this position. Number 2, Afira. Afira comes in as number 2 in the Ardor hero rankings. She drops from number 1 from last year, even though she is one of the most complete heroes in the cast. Want to displace a hero into a wall and get a follow-up attack? She got you. Want to threaten with an unblockable? Not a problem. An undodgeable? Not a problem. Feintable bash from neutral? She's the one. In-chain bash? She got that too. She's agile, versatile, and she does it with a smile and a laugh. Now to number 1, Virtuosa. Virtuosa is now at the top of the list, overtaking Afira. The beauty of this hero is she doesn't have a deflect or undodgeable. Her evade gimmick more than makes up for that. The player really has full control on what they want to throw. They just need to set it up, and that leads players to need to think on their feet to pull off particular attacks. She has 5 different bashes in her kit to go along with an uninterruptible, unblockable, and pin move that when used effectively makes her a chore to take down. She can be very unpredictable. She's fun to use, unique, a quality kit, helpful in team fights because she can sit there externally in a posture, daring someone to attack or initiate her offense just as clean to contribute. She's a great add to the cast of heroes and is a worthy number 1 in these Ardor hero rankings. And that's all, folks. Those are the rankings. We went from 37 to 1 based on the Ardor hero criteria. I had a lot of fun with this, but I took ranking these heroes seriously because I do want them to be as accurate based on the criteria as I could be. And I will get into that criteria for those that are interested in a second. Any player can make even a lower ranked hero look good, I get that, but you can't focus on the human element. I stand by these rankings and I don't expect everyone to agree with them. That's natural. So as I said in the beginning, I want to know who you thought was too low or who you thought was too high and why. As a community, we should be able to discuss things like this without denigrating or trying to make someone feel dumb. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know I try to keep the For Honor conversation going, and this is just another tool to continue to do so. And I want to add some special news. Just like last year, I will be doing my AI tournament, where based on these rankings, I will match up the heroes in a 1v1 tournament, winner take all, for the Golden Pint. They will all be level 3 bots. Last year I was able to give away 65k steel. Well, I should say the equivalent to. I plan to do something similar this year, but look for that post soon after this video and make sure you comment on that post to select the hero you think will win the tournament, because that's how you will enter. Thank you for tuning in. There are so many videos you can tune into, and you tuned into this one today. I will always appreciate that. Until next time, y'all, peace on these Ardor hero rankings. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get into the criteria portion for those that are interested.